Alright, Shalom Akim Nakwa. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakatash. Double honor to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, along with the sincere brethren that is doing the work as well, and also the believers to you will say Shalom. Alright. So this lesson is pretty much gonna be going into really the mindset of the devil, man. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, if you don't already know. So we're going to take a look at these Georgia Guidestones for any of you out there who may be new into the truth and want to get a more insight on who Satan is according to the Bible. Then here you go, right? So we're going to take a look at these Georgia Guidestones and grab some scriptures and, you know, filter it through that. So I'm going to read this in the blue down here. These are the Georgia Guidestones, stones that the elites have set up over there in Elbert County, Georgia, which is a huge monument, and these elites have put their own 10 commandments on these stones, right? So they dismissed the 10 commandments of the Most High and put up their own damn commandments. It shows you the pride of the devil, Esau, the so-called white man, all right? So let's go down. Let's see what the main commandment is. All right, first commandment, which is the main commandment, says to maintain humanity under 500 million, right? Perpetual balance with nature. That is the #1 objective, all right? That is the new world order of the elites. Okay, so and they put this in their movies and their, you know, their documentaries or whatever, and they put it right on your nose, you know. And a lot of you don't even know it. But I'm gonna play this real quick, which pretty much goes into what they want to do, and we're gonna get back to the scriptures.
The real problem is this, James. In 2 decades, there will be 7 billion human beings on this planet. Most of them brown, yellow, or black. All of them hungry.
Brown, yellow, or black. Who does that sound like? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why? Because you are the Israelites of the Bible.
All of them determined to love. They'll swarm out of their breeding grounds into Europe and North America. Hence Vietnam. An all-out effort there will give us control of South Asia for decades to come. And with proper planning, we can reduce the population to 550 million by the end of the century. I know. I've seen the data.
And scriptures tell you that, man. Hey, there comes a diligent search. So they search out ways to destroy you people.
You sound rather like gods reading the Doomsday Book, don't we?
Well, someone has to do it. Not only will the nations affected be better off, but the techniques developed there can be used to reduce our own excess.
Hence word infected. So, you know, they plan on doing this with a biological weapon.
Population. Blacks, Puerto Ricans, Mexican Americans, poverty-prone whites, and so forth.
So there you have it. As the scriptures say, they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And this is what we're dealing with. All right? The people on the back of your dollar bill, this eye right here, which represents, it's supposed to represent God, you know, the eyes, the all-seeing eye, so like it, the all-seeing eye, which watches over all of humanity, okay, and enforces the laws of the land. Okay, so let me read this real quick. This is what we're going up against. It represents the eye of God watching over humanity, the concept of divine providence in the modern era. A notable depiction of the eye is the reverse of the Great Seal of the United States, which appears of the United States $1 bill. Okay, so everything in the world trickles down from this eye, which is the Illuminati, the secret council of the so-called white man Esau. That's why Ephesians 6 and 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? And this is what we're going up against spiritually. This is not a carnal battle that we're doing. We're tearing this man down by the Spirit, which is a sword. Okay? Sword of the Bible. And he can't take it. You know, because this Bible condemns the so-called white man and their lies that they have perpetuated on earth. Okay? As I'm exposing right now. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof, if not where who is it? Okay? You know, and this is another guy, Aleister Crowley, which pretty much is the poster boy, you know, the Illuminati. And there's Winston Churchill. That's another wicked motherfucker right there. All these people are the devil, man. They are the seed of Satan, and they are the ones that have influenced the philosophies on the earth today. Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, this secret counsel, of course, is dealing with the Illuminati of the wicked, which is the so-called white man Esau, according to the Bible, who whet their tongue like the sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right, and they trick you with their words. Okay, they deceive many by peace, but in return, you know, they destroy a lot of people. Verse 4, Psalm 64:4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Seldom do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune and lay in snares proudly. They say, who shall see them? All right, so they do this stuff in secret, and they say, who shall see them? Because they're hid. Their ways are hid. Don't nobody really know what the Illuminati is about. Okay, but these are the ones that are pushing the philosophies on the world. And mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, to keep you in bondage, to keep you from rising up. Okay, so they have conspired a plan to keep you at the bottom by taking away your heritage. This is what happened in slavery. Okay, that's why Deuteronomy 28 tells you that, you know, he should put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. That's not talking about physically. That's talking about mentally, spiritually. Okay, so once you submit it to his ways, then you're pretty much through. So your whole history, your whole heritage was taken away from you, which was royalty according to the Most High, because you were the chosen people. And so once he took that away from you, there's no way that you can rise back up against him, because he knows that you are bound by the law of the book. Okay. Psalm 64:6, they search out iniquities. See, they search out iniquities. There comes a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. So there comes a diligent search, and one thing that they study is the Bible. Everything comes from the Bible. If you want to defeat the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, go in the Bible and find out what they're bound by, and then make them go against that. And that's what they have set up. That's why they lay snares proudly. These laws, statutes, and commandments that they have set up to go against the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High, and which he set up for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives. If he can get you to go against that, then you'll forever be at the bottom, because the Lord don't deal with sin. So if he can get you to deal with sin, there's no way you can overthrow them. But now that you're coming back into your heritage of an Israelite, all of a sudden you're a threat. Psalms 83:1, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, the Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden one. Okay, the secret council, the Illuminati, they take crafty counsel against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, and they consult against you of how to destroy you. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And they do this by the law, statutes, and commandments that they have set up to keep you snared, all right? To keep you in a hole. For they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you, okay? The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man today, the Illuminati, the one that had seized control over the entire earth. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, okay? So that crafty counsel, and it's really the Most High. I want to get this real quick. Deuteronomy 32:26, I said I would scatter them into corners, and I would make the remembrance of them to cease among men. That's why you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Puerto Ricans, and you Haitians don't even know who you are. You don't even know that you are the Israelites, the chosen seed of the Most High. But for you disobeying His commandments, He took that away from you. Now you don't even know who the hell you are. Revelations 11:8, and their dead bodies, spiritually dead bodies, shall lie in the street of the great city, which is America, okay, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Sodom is what they promote here, and Egypt means captivity. But also our Lord was crucified. Yeah, they turned a so-called black man, which his name was Yahushua, into a so-called white man and called him Jesus. Okay, that's him being crucified in the spirit. And they of the people in kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies, spiritually dead bodies, 3 days and a half, 350 years, and shall not suffer their spiritually dead bodies to be put in graves. They're not going to tell you who you are. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets, the northern and the southern kingdom, okay, the so-called Negroes and the so-called Native Americans and the Latinos, okay, the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Ephraim, okay, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt upon the earth. At one point, we tormented these nations because of what they did to us, and now they have us in the captivity. Revelations 11:11, and after 3 days and a half, okay, 350 years, the spirit of life from the Most High Yahweh entered into them. Talking about this word, this understanding of this word. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay? And why did great fear fall upon the elites, the Illuminati? Because, you know, they had to go back into captivity, in which we're going to prove that later on. But Revelation 11:12 says, and they heard a great voice, talking about the elect nation of Israel, the ones that were chosen to receive salvation. And they heard a voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. This is Yahushua coming in a big spaceship. And they ascended up into heaven, all right, in a cloud, meaning they went up into the sky in a cloud. And that cloud is talking about a so-called UFO today. This is what a cloud symbolizes in the scriptures, okay? That's to throw you off. It's not an actual cloud. And their enemies beheld them, okay? So once we wake up, then that means that our Lord Yahushua is going to come back, and that goes back to 2 Thessalonians. You know, I'm going to get that later on, but it goes back to 2 Thessalonians, and when that wicked is to be revealed, you know, the Lord's going to consume him with the spirit of his mouth. Revelation 11:13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. 7,000 just means completion, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. Okay, so the 10th part of the city is gonna fall due to first of all, America is split up into 10 FEMA zones. Okay, so this is what it's talking about when it's talking about, you know, 10th part of the city fell. It's talking about America. America is split up into 10 FEMA zones, and it's gonna fall according to the missiles that are gonna be shot over here by Russia, China, and all these other nations. And so, going back to Revelations 11:13, all right, America's gonna be destroyed in that great earthquake, and that earthquake is gonna be caused by thermonuclear fire. So this is what they're ultimately afraid of, because they know that destruction is coming, and then they have to go back into captivity. 2 Thessalonians 2:3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come until they come and falling away first. All right, you lost your heritage, you lost your way. In that man of sin be revealed the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sit up in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. All right, you people think Jesus Christ is white, you know, so-called Jesus Christ is a so-called white man. You know, you think God is white, and that's not the case. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now you know that, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time. For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now letter was let. So the Most High is the one that's controlling this man. He's letting him build up his iniquity, okay, until he be taken out of the way. 2 Thessalonians 2:8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And that's dealing with the prophet speaking his word as I'm doing, right? Exposing this man through the spirit, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And they understand that these elites, they study the Bible, and they do everything they can to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives from waking up into the heritage that you had before, you would be not of your heritage. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, so-called white man, the seed of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and righteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Okay, and this is talking about the day of judgment, when America is going to be destroyed. This is for all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that didn't want to repent, but you wanted to follow the philosophies and doctrines of this world, and not turn back into the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You're going to be taken with this man, and you're going to be destroyed along with him. Okay, so let's get Ecclesiastes 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is transferred from one people to another. And it's going to be transferred from Esau, the so-called white man, over to Jacob, which is the seed line of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. All right. Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So right now we have the wicked who are bearing rule, and the people are mourning, right? Look at the world. Is not everyone mourning? I just showed you in Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So when they're in rulership, the people mourn. But when the righteous, right, the seed of Jacob, are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's ultimately what all these nations are going to do at the end, when all these are going to do when the righteous are in authority and the law, statutes, and commandments are enforced on the people. Okay, and at the end of the day, they're going to be rejoicing. But the so-called white man is not. He's going to be destroyed. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. That's talking about everyone that has repented, according to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, of course, that have repented and came back into the fact that you are an Israelite and you believe on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and his gospel. This is talking about you. But it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time. Okay, in this short time, it's talking about a short time to rule. So Esau has a short time to rule this earth, the so-called white man. He understands that according to prophecy. That's why I said that they study this book. And the only way that they're able to stand in power is to go against everything that's in this book. So once you start to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments that are presented in this book, then it brings him down. Okay. So he, knowing that he has been revealed, he knows that he has a short time to rule. So what is he going to do? He's going to come down on you with great force and great wrath. And he's going to go out fighting. Because the so-called white man's blessing is a sword. This is 2 Esdras 16:68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, the ones that have repented. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, mainly that RFID microchip. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Okay? You take that chip, that RFID microchip, you're going to be trodden underfoot anyway. For there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, spare none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Now what does it sound like? It sounds like martial law, right? Is that not what America is getting ready to initiate in America? All right, that's why this coronavirus, okay, which was, we believe, obviously was a man-made virus, which was created to put the people in fear in order for them to receive an RFID microchip and a vaccine. But in the midst of that, if you don't take that microchip or that vaccine, then you're gonna be killed. Okay, so a lot of you people, you're gonna take that chip just so you won't be killed. But if you take that chip, you're gonna be killed by the Most High anyway. So you might as well not take the chip and receive everlasting life. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall it be known who are my chosen. They shall be tried as the gold in the fire. All right, those are the elect, the ones that are chosen of the Most High. And this is ultimately what they're fearing, man. This is why they're gonna fight back against you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites that have repented, because you have rebelled against them. All right. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. And the saints are the Israelites. So he led us into captivity. So now he has to go into captivity. Like I said, they understand what's going on. They don't want to go back into captivity. They're going to fight, get overtaken. But they're going to kill a lot of you. They're going to kill a lot of so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives before they go down. And this is going to be the judgment from the Most High for you rejecting His word. All right. So if you don't want to receive His word, you're going to be numbered to the sword. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, which is Israel, and the stranger shall be joined with them. This is talking about the scattered Israelites that repented, okay, and came back into the heritage. They're going to be joined, okay, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. Jacob is Israel. Those are the same thing. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, which is Esau, and Babylon is America, the land of confusion, and say, how have the oppressors ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. All right, this is in the kingdom. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Even the trees are going to rejoice because this man is going to be taken down out of power. All right, it's not going to be any more trees cut down. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It's talking about captivity. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So this man is going to be brought down so low that he's going to be like the nations today. They're going to be a nobody. They're going to be brought back to base man. That prompt is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Right? They're going to be in decay. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? All right. Lucifer means light bearer, the Illuminati, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? That's what he has done with his philosophies. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt myself above the stars of the Most High. All right, this is talking about the Israelites. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the North America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to captivity, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall naturally look upon thee and consider, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one of his own house. This is all the kings of the other nations. All right. Ultimately, after 1,000 years over with, they're gonna lie in glory under us, under the rulership of the Israelites. All right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But for the so-called white man, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as a remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be drawn with them and buried, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evil doers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon, America, the name, the remnant, and son, and nephew, said the Lord. And that's the end of the so-called white man. Esau, the wicked. That's his fate. And he knows that. So in order for him to avoid that fate, he has to rule the world in wickedness and deceit. So now that he has been discovered as the devil and the liar that the Bible speaks of, it's time for him to be judged. And this is why great fear has fell upon the so-called white man. So Lord willing, it was edifying. Until next time I say shalom.